Welcome to the kidsministry.blog podcast. Every episode, we share ideas, tips, and resources to help your children's ministry thrive.
Okay, so we all know that feeling, right? The group introduction, the icebreaker that just kind of lands with a thud.
Definitely. Silence.
Mhm.
Kids may be looking anywhere but at you.
Exactly. And, we get why the old ways often don't work, but figuring out what does, that's tougher.
It really is.
So today, we're digging into this really interesting piece from Kids Ministry blog. It's dated June 8th, 2025. It's called 15 Icebreaker Games Kids Actually Enjoy.
Sounds promising.
Yeah. And our goal here is to unpack how this teacher, this expert, took those, super awkward moments and found ways to build real connection for kids using some pretty fresh ideas.
And the source doesn't shy away from the failures, which I appreciate. It really paints a picture.
Right.
Yeah, she talks about her first try with a group, dead silence, 23rd graders staring at me like I just asked them to solve calculus, mentions kids picking at carpets, hiding under tables.
Well, been there.
We all have. But what's good here is she explains why it bombs. Kids hate being put on the spot. They hate sitting still, and they definitely don't want to, spill their deepest secrets to strangers 5 minutes in. It really questions those traditional assumptions.
That's such a key insight. So, okay, if forcing talk and stillness is basically a non-starter, what was her big shift after 5 years of, trial and error?
Well, her big realization, her core principle, was actually pretty simple. Stop making kids do stuff they hate.
Seems obvious when you put it like that.
Right. Instead, let them move. Let them be silly. Let them join in without feeling like they have to bare their soul, as she puts it.
Okay, move, be silly, low pressure. I like it.
Exactly. It's about creating a space where connections happen more organically through doing stuff together. The challenge she found was kind of unlearning her own ideas about what getting to know you should even look like.
So it wasn't just finding new games, but a whole new mindset.
Precisely. Different ways to interact, not just different questions.
Okay, let's get into it then. How did this actually play out? Give us some examples of these games that worked.
Sure. One that sounds almost too simple is the shoe pile race.
Shoe pile race.
Yeah. Everyone just tosses one shoe in the middle, mix them up, and then it's a race to find your own shoe and get it back on.
Okay, that's utter chaos. But fun chaos, maybe. What makes that an icebreaker?
Well, think about it. Nobody has to talk.
Right.
Even really shy kids can just dive in, literally. Everyone's focused on the shoes, this shared, slightly ridiculous task, not on staring at new people. It kind of lowers the anxiety immediately.
Yeah, I can see that. Any specific moments she mentioned?
Oh, yeah. She mentioned this kid, Jaden, usually quiet, apparently showed up wearing his dad's huge boots, hoping for an advantage.
Did it work?
Nope. Lost the race, but was apparently laughing his head off. It's that pure, simple fun, no pressure.
Love it. Okay, so that covers the no talking needed part. What about encouraging interaction, but differently? You mentioned 4 corners, but weird.
Yes. This one's clever. Starts like normal. 4 corners you label corners with, say, pizza, tacos, hamburgers, chicken nuggets. Kids go to their favorite. Standard stuff.
Okay, familiar. So what's the twist?
The twist is, once they're in their corner, they have to try and convince one person from another corner to switch to theirs.
Interesting. Yeah. So it moves from just stating a preference to low-stakes persuasion.
Exactly. And apparently led to some really funny, unexpected debates.
Like what?
Well, the source mentions this one time. A full-on, 10-minute debate erupted about hamburger toppings. Pickles versus onions. Seriously.
No way!
Yes. And apparently, a new kid, totally silent until then, jumped right into this onion defense league and instantly connected with other onion fans. It's engagement through silly, shared opinions, not personal interrogation.
That's brilliant. Okay, one more for pure chaos and teamwork. The mummy wrap race. Sounds messy.
It is, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Teams get a roll of toilet paper, pick one person to be the mummy, and race to wrap them up using the whole roll first.
Toilet paper transformation.
Totally. And it's great for cooperation. She mentioned this kid, Oliver, who usually couldn't sit still. He stood perfectly still like a statue for his team. Took his mummy role very seriously. Lots of pride there.
So it's active, energetic teamwork without needing complex strategy discussions.
Exactly. Shared goal, lots of movement.
Okay, so pulling this all together, these games, they might seem a bit silly on the surface, but they're doing something deeper, right? They're actually building an environment for connection.
Absolutely. It's creating the conditions where friendships can just happen, even for the quiet kids.
Yeah.
There's this really touching bit about a new girl, Mia. Wouldn't even say her name at first, just hid behind her mom.
Oh, poor kid.
Yeah. But by the time they got to the mummy rap game, she was apparently right in the thick of it, yelling strategies, totally involved.
Wow, that's a transformation.
Huge. Her mom texted later saying Mia couldn't stop talking about it and definitely wanted to come back. That's the goal, right?
That is absolutely the goal. Now, the source also mentioned learning from failures. What were the key practical tips for the rest of us?
Yeah, some good takeaways there. One, always try to start with something that doesn't require talking, like the shoe race. Ease them in.
Good point.
2, always have backup games because some things will flop. Be ready to pivot.
It's essential.
And 3, maybe the most important, let the games fail sometimes. Let the sitting circle game collapse into giggles. Let telephone Pictionary become total nonsense. That's often when the real fun, the real bonding happens, when the guard comes down.
So for you listening, what's the big takeaway here? Maybe it's realizing that real connection for kids often comes less from forced sharing and more from, shared fun, shared laughter, maybe even a little shared managed chaos.
It taps into how kids naturally operate through play.
Yeah.
And maybe, as leaders or parents, being willing to look a bit ridiculous sometimes, like this author clearly was for 5 years, maybe that's not such a high price. Not when you see that moment where a shy kid finds a friend, feels like they belong, and actually wants to be there.
A powerful thought to end on. That willingness to embrace the ridiculous for the sake of connection makes you think, doesn't it? What bit of silliness could you bring?
Thanks for listening. To find more ideas, tips, and resources, go to kidsministry.blog. We'll see you next time.